Because I mean, he wouldn't go begging from anyone for prasadam, the madhukari, which normally they do in the dams. He would not do that. Whatever is available with that, he was giving. Very nice. Thank you, Suresh Prabhu. Okay. When is Rath Yatra in Pune, Prabhu?
This Sunday, Saturday, this Sunday 25th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Major city center, this government is giving only Sunday. Even Chennai, the same case. Because they expect that that's the only day that traffic will be less.
Less, and even devotees will be available that day.
So slowly they are squeezing into our weekend days also. Saturdays are now become weekdays.
Yeah.
You are retired, right, Prabhu, Suresh Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. I am fully in service, devotional service.
We envy you, bro. you, you escaped all this traffic, you escaped all this tension.
Yes.
Krishna has really blessed you.
Yes, I think I'm very fortunate.
Really, we are feeling also the same because we can take your association and so nice, you know.
I request to follow this Srivas Sang.
Srivas?
Srivas Prabhu, Srivas, the Angan one, how that he said that whenever I need anything, I just clap 3 times and things come to my way. He's not without any job. That trust, only thing lacking within us. Even today, for each and
Yes.
every person, it is possible at your young age, but we don't have that trust that,
Yeah.
like Srivas.
Yeah. Amazing. Huh? And Srivas is also expansion of Narad Muni, by the way. Thanks for reminding us about Srivas.
Yeah. Yes. So that trust is lacking within us.
Yeah. Amazing. Bro. So that's the thing that needs to come from our end. Very good. Okay, so now comes the real verse now. Now Narad Muni is going to diagnose the problem behind the solution behind the problem. So, sorry. The diagnosing the cause of the problem, root cause of the problem, and suggesting solution. Hmm? Sorry for my uh, words getting jumbled. Okay, this is the most important verse. Now, once we were reading with our spiritual master, Sonas Maharaj, this chapter. He said in this chapter there are 40 verses. And these 40 verses are classified into 3 categories. Important, more important, and most important. These are the only 3 categories you can classify them into. And so far what we read, they are all important. Now we are getting one verse which is most important. Hmm? This is because this is the prompt diagnosis is done by Narad Muni for Vyasadev's despondency. So who would like to recite this verse 158?
Can I do it, Prabhuji?
Please, Mataji, go ahead, please.
Sri Narada Uvacha Bhavanudita Prayam
Bhavata Anudita. Anudita
Prayam Yasho Bhagavato Malam Yenaiva na tushyeta Manye Taddarshanam Khilam.
There it is. Can do the translation, Mataji.
Translation. Sri Narada said, "You have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the personality of Godhead. That philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord is considered worthless."
This is the beauty, you know. Now, beautiful verse here. This is very interesting because Bhavata Anudita. Udita means coming out, like sun is Udaya, no? Sun is rising, that is coming out in our vision. So Udita means you are bringing out Krishna's glories to the world. Anudita means you have not brought out the glories of Krishna in your scriptures directly. The maximum should be about Krishna's glorification, remaining should be about other things. dharma, artha, kama, moksha, etc. Very little. But you did the other way around. Anudita prayam. Prayam is almost. Almost things. It looks like, but actually it is nothing. It's like saying, suppose 35 is the pass mark, you scored 34. They will say, you know, almost you passed. But that almost passing is not, you know, his fail only. 34, just because he's one number below 34, 35, they will not say, no, no, you are pass mark. No, he has to repeat the thing again. Whole thing. So, bhavata anudita prayam yasho bhagavato amalam. The amala means completely spotless. There is no speck of mistake you can find in the pastimes or activities of Krishna. It may look like he is thieving, he is stealing butter, he is thieving something from one house to another in the Raja, and you will see that he is sometimes working with one person, another person is probably plotting something, whatever, or he is siding with some enemies or somebody like that. But anything you may look at it, but actually it is all perfectly without any faults, without any black spot. There is not a single black spot you can find in his. He can play with the young girls in Vrindavan. Nobody can find fault. In fact, on the contrary, he is glorified for all these qualities. You know, he can steal the saris of these gopis who are bathing, and he is glorified as there is a glorification of that entire pastime. So everywhere you see whatever Krishna does, it is spotless. Why? Because it is like this. You can't find any mistake in the sun. You can't find any mistake in the moon. There may be some spots in the moon, but it actually adds bad beauty to that moon, isn't it? When it is full, you can see that it is more beautiful, even though with that little spots there. That Krishna's beauty, Krishna's qualities also, they are actually adding more beauty to his pastimes, those things. So, but what you have done, you have not broadcast. It's not, see, there is a difference between speaking and broadcasting. I can murmur to somebody. I can silently, speak in a silent tone or soft tone like that. But there is a difference between broadcasting and this. Broadcasting actually increases. Actually, it means that there is a lot more faith. Only then you will be really broadcasting, isn't it? When you're really convinced about something, you will go and tell everybody. You will not care who thinks what about you. You're really convinced that, this is really a good thing. So everybody will be benefited by it. That is what is called broadcasting. Ramanujacharya, when his guru was given this mantra, that Om Namo Narayana mantra, that mantra when the guru gave, what did he say? The guru said, this mantra is not supposed to be chanted to anybody and everybody. Why, Guru Maharaj, we should not chant this? No, this is a very powerful mantra. It is it purifies one for all their lifetimes. Is destroyed. Sins are destroyed. They are completely purified as a result of that. It is only to be given to those who are qualified. And Ramanujacharya asked his Guru Maharaj, if it is so powerful, so purifying, why can't I simply go and give it to everybody? Then he said, if you go and give it to everybody, you will be affected by sins of not following the proper process, proper rules. You will have to go. You will have to go to Naraklok for that. So Ramanujacharya said, if for everybody can get benefited, if just one person, if I can go to hell,
I have no problem. I can go to hell for benefiting everybody, to help everybody. So he went to that famous temple. It is called Tirukoshtiyur. On top of the Gopuram, he went and he said, called everybody. Today I am going to give you the most powerful treasure. Come, 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 everybody. So he called everybody and said, from today, if you chant this mantra, all your crores and crores of sins, life's sins will be destroyed, and you will become pure, and you will be benefited as a result of all these things. And then everybody came running to him. And then Ramanujacharya broadcasted this mantra so that everybody will become devotees of Krishna. This is the transcendental thing that everybody takes. Yes, especially the acharyas, they take to deliver the fallen soul. This is a risk, a transcendental risk that they take. So that is why this broadcast word is very important. What he is telling, Narada Muni is telling Vasudev is that you didn't broadcast. You just told something here and there. But broadcasting means you don't care for what others are thinking. Like this, in the mosques, they do this namaz thing, no? Whatever the asnan or whatever they call it, azan or asnan, whatever they call it now. So they don't care what others curse or criticize about their loud thing, right? Or you go for any this politicians, they go with their, whenever the elections come, they go announcing in the mic everywhere. They want everybody to hear it. So broadcast is two important things. There may be more, but two important things. One is you don't care what others think. You don't care what others think or feel about you. You just broadcast. Somebody can tease you, somebody can find faults with you, whatever. You don't care about that. And the second important thing is that you want this to reach to maximum people because you have unflinching faith in it. It has benefited you. That is why you want others also to be benefited. Not for your personal benefit, but for their benefit you are doing it. So this is the beautiful point that we should note, that broadcasting has these qualities. Like you have complete faith in it, that it has benefited you, and you are 100% sure that others also will be benefited. That's one thing. And what is the second thing? That you don't care what others think about things, because because of your complete faith. And the third thing is that you want it to reach as many people as possible. In fact, every single person. That is why you are doing broadcasting. If you are happy with just giving to 2, 3, 4 people, you can just go in hand of these 3 people. But if you have so much, you just want to keep giving to as many people as you want, and you don't have, that you don't have time, then you will keep giving to everybody. So that is why this broadcasting is very, very important, because now we don't have much time. Others also don't have much time. And this has to reach in to maximum people in a very, very short time. Like these Rath Yatras, these are all the best ways to do broadcasting, because not everybody cares to come and listen to Bhagavatam class or do chanting or whatever. But the moment they see one Rath Yatra or one, one Rath Yatra or even one function, Janmashtami, or one function they see also, then suddenly they start getting too much, because the more people come together, then it becomes it's like avalanche effect. It keeps adding more and more people to it. People start developing more faith, because not everybody can be like everybody. Not everybody in this world can be can replicate the faith of Prabhupada or other acharyas. You see. Because they can do it even when nobody is there alone. Also, they can sit and they can still have the faith. But people who are not yet in that state, they are still beginners. They need some examples. They need somebody who has done it earlier and they have got success. Like you go and you ask somebody if you want to put your child in the school. Then you will ask, is this school good? What is their previous record? What is their fees and how they are teaching? You will get feedback from so many people, isn't it? You won't just like that go and put the child in the. So there are people who will have faith only if they check with others, they see others doing it. A lot of people joining means immediately they say, oh, there must be something good in it. So these are all the problems of the Kali Yuga. So for that, this broadcasting is very important. Broadcasting of the message, the transcendental message, how to, in what way we are suffering and what is the solution to the suffering, right? So this is why this broadcast is very important. And second thing is, this philosophy has to satisfy the senses of the Lord. In other words, Krishna should feel happy that, okay, you are doing the right thing. And second thing is, Vyasadeva is a learned person. So he deliberately he avoided. If you don't know and you avoid, that's a different thing. If you know that this is the ultimate thing and still you avoid, that's when it will be even more desperate. So at the end of the day, whatever we do must satisfy, but satisfy the supreme law, the absolute truth. That is a test. If we are not satisfied with something, it means that Krishna is not satisfied. That's why we ourselves are not satisfied. Good. Vyasadeva was not satisfied because Krishna was not satisfied. Whereas some people are very happy doing their seva, they don't care. Then it means that somehow they got the mercy of Krishna, that Krishna was somehow or other satisfied with their service. And for this, we don't have to be great scholars. We don't have to be great, say, tapasvis or all those things. Even simple Gajendra didn't do any tapas in his life. Or any other examples you take. There are so many examples you can take. They all satisfied simply. Shabari, she satisfied Ram, Lord Ram, very simple. That Kubja, she didn't do any austerity or penance. She just gave a little bit of chandan oil, oil scented, chandan scented oil to Krishna. She was rectified of her, what do you call that as? Bent, three bent.
Hunchback.
Hunchback is. So like this, so many examples are there where people from nowhere were taken to the topmost just by their simple service. So that is how they satisfied Krishna's senses. So even for in our life also, this is a very, very important lesson to take from this particular part, is that we can be satisfied only when our activities satisfy Krishna. We cannot be satisfied without Krishna being satisfied. So that should be our main motto. Today also we are reading this one beautiful verse in 8th canto. The morning we are doing discussion. So you can take this verse and read, which is very related to this point. 8, 9, 29. Eight, 9, 29. Maybe you can read the translation about it.
In human society, there are various activities performed for the protection of one's wealth and life by one's words, one's mind, and one's actions. But they are all performed for one's personal or extended sense gratification with reference to the body. All these activities are baffled because of being separate from devotional service. But when the same activities are performed for the satisfaction of the Lord, the beneficial results are distributed to everyone, just as water poured on the root of a tree is distributed throughout the entire tree.
See how nice the example is and how nice the concept is. It's very similar to what we are. It's very similar to the point in the verse number 8 and the verse number 1431.
So this is basically Prithakvat means separation. So whatever activities you are doing, if it is devoid of that devotional mood, then it is lost. It is baffled. Baffled means we are defeated in it. Whereas that same thing is done in connection with Krishna. That in devotional service means nothing but any activity done with the satisfaction, with the idea of the aim of satisfying the Lord. That's all. So this is if we can use yujyate. Yujyate means in linking with Krishna, yoga. So because of the non-separation, it is not separated from Krishna. Anything you do, you see it in relation with Krishna. You are reading this sloka because we see that, hey, this is Krishna has inspired us to connect this sloka and the 158. 158 and 8929, they so nicely connect. So Krishna has inspired us to do. So that inspiration is coming from Krishna. Immediately we remember Krishna, and we are when we are remembering Krishna, that way it is connected. You drink some water, you say Rasokam Apsu, when Krishna says a taste of water is me. Then you drink water, oh yes, this taste of water is Krishna, and it tastes so sweet, so nice. So Krishna is, I'm able to enjoy Krishna. Like that, in everything we can, Krishna is so merciful that in Bhagavad Gita, is given 15 places where we can see him. So you can see each and every says there is I am the light and the sun and the moon. So whenever you see, there is no way you are separated from sun and the moon. Till evening, sun is there, and after that, moon is there. So both ways you can see Krishna staying with us in the form of the light. So like this, there are so many ways we can see Krishna, and as soon as you see Krishna in these things, you become grateful. And that gratitude is what will please him, because with gratitude is a very important part of devotional service. One second. Is telling meeting says I'm no longer a participant of meeting. Had anybody got that problem in the past?
You can try joining as guest. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. You can probably message him offline. Okay, so this sloka is very much in connection with that. Just like, and more importantly, there is one thing very interesting here. The thing is, if you do everything with Krishna in the center, then automatically the result of that activity gets distributed to everyone. Just you see the translation. If you go down, if you go down, you will see that this when the same activities are performed for the satisfaction of the Lord, the beneficial results are distributed to everyone. These beneficial results are distributed to everyone is the broadcasting, isn't it? Yes or no? That is how you are, when you are, the results are being broadcast. I mean, when you are, the thing is, Vyasadeva is sitting in one place and writing. He is not taking a mic and speaking to everyone. This is what it is, this is what it is. But the mood of broadcasting is one of having unflinching faith and having so much eagerness to give Krishna to everyone. So that broadcasting happens when your eagerness to give Krishna to everyone is unflinching or is unlimited. You see, that eagerness is very important. And that is the eagerness is the root cause of the broadcasting. Because no one will broadcast without having the eagerness. You feel like telling to everybody. You're not tired of telling to 10 different people also, because you have that faith in that subject, and you want it to be given to everyone, because you feel you understand that yes, if I give this to someone, they will be immensely benefited. They will be relieved of all their problems, right? So that is the one other important quality of broadcasting. Another important quality of broadcasting is feeling very, very, very compassionate to those people. That compassion is very important, because unless you feel the pain of others, the thing about compassion is that we have to first of all feel the pain. Without feeling the other's pain, we cannot be compassionate. So that feeling that pain is karuna, that oh, there must be so much suffering. That feeling should be there. And when that feeling is there, then naturally you would want to go and give it to people, irrespective of whatever they may be. You don't discriminate between their caste, creed, and all kinds of stuff. See? So that is the important thing we should learn from here. This beneficial results are distributed to everyone automatically. And that's why, like when Prabhupada said, I am writing these books, but I am doing this with full faith that this will benefit the human society. So he was sitting and writing in a corner in somewhere in Vrindavan or any other place in the world after that. He started traveling. But see how they got printed, distributed. He was not paying a single penny to those book distributors. Normally, when you have a franchise or dealership with somewhere, they need to set up the shop. They need to give people. They need to set up the worker staffs and the maintenance, and for all those things they should be paid for, and they should get profit. Only then they can continue the franchise branches. If not, they will not agree. They will just close and shut shop and go, isn't it? But you see, right from the day 1965 till today, and even further also going forward also, so many thousands of book distributors are there. Are people who are preaching the message, who are distributing the books in so many different ways. Earlier, they used to stand in the airport and distribute. Nowadays, they are doing online book distribution. In Corona time, they couldn't go anywhere, but they were doing online book seva. They were doing online preaching classes they were taking. So the mode changed, but the mood didn't change. Only the mode of operation changed, or not the mood of operation, right? So you see, not a single person in this among these people who are doing prachar, seva, sankirtan, whatever, they don't take a single penny from that Lakshmi, whatever they are getting. They are not taking commission, or some one or two may be taking, but that's not the general tendency that Prabhupada recommended. So many of them, they would do their own work for maintenance, but in their free time they do these sevas. Isn't it? How are they able to do it with so much eagerness without getting a single penny? That's because by their service, they are getting a special kind of satisfaction which they don't get in anywhere. Why? Because this service, without expectation, satisfies Krishna. And that satisfaction is distributed to all of us, just like this root, before the water, the root of the tree, it gets distributed to all parts of the tree. The same way you please Krishna, you get you can please everyone in this world. That's the whole idea between these two, connection between these two. Okay, let's go back to 158. That particular verse, I know I said it's the most important, but we should not, because we have to go through a few sections to reach Narada Muni's the previous life, the shlokas. Let's quickly read only the verse and the translation. Now Narada Muni has spoken the first verse. He has diagnosed the problem, diagnosed the disease, and now he is not actually broadcasted, right? You're not actually broadcasted. Now he is going further into that. Who wants to read this shloka now? Anybody like to read this shloka? It's verse number 9. It's on the screen. Verse 159.
I'll read, Prabhuji.
Okay.
यथा धर्मादयश्चार्था मुनिवर्यानुकीर्तिताः
न तथा वासुदेवस्य महिमा ह्यनुवर्णितः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Although great sage, you have very broadly described the four principles beginning with religious performances. You have not described the glories of the Supreme Personality, Vasudeva.
Now, this is very interesting. So you broadly described the four principles: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These are the four things the whole world is running under, right? You do your dharma, then you will get some benefit out of it, and then use it to fulfill your material desires, whatever. And when the age comes, you think for moksha. But the problem is, people don't cross the third stage. After the third stage, they stop. They just busy with artha and kama only. They stop doing dharma also. They only do artha and kama. Dharma means prescribed duties. So here, two words are very interesting, which redefines or expands the word, expands the meaning of the word broadcast. Can somebody find them out? Easy to find out.
Anukirtita,
Okay, what does that mean?
repeatedly described.
So not just once describing, repeatedly describing. So when you are actually doing broadcasting, you will repeatedly describe that. You will not get bored. Yesterday only I read this chapter. Today I will not read. Last week only we did this first time. Today we will not do. That kind of a thought will never come when we are doing repeated description. And the other thing is anuvarnitaka, constantly describing. Repeatedly describing, constantly describing. So these two things here. One is repetition, another is constancy. What is the difference between the two, or can somebody say that? What is repetition and what is constancy? What is the difference between the two? Actually, both have to work together. Otherwise, yes, Prabhu. Yes, Anup Prabhu.
Yeah, constantly means like consistent, like every day. And repeatedly means with the same subject, repeating again and again every day.
Yes, yes. So it's like this. You are setting a meeting with repetition, but it will say end after so and so date, isn't it? When you are setting a meeting in your office or when so you will say after 6 months time, you will say after 10 sessions or after 16 or after 6 months, you will put an end date. So that their constancy ends. Repetition is there, but constancy is not there. Only for 6 months it is constant. After that it stops. But here it should continue without stopping, right? But repetition means continuously you do at the in a regulated thing. There is a regulation and there is a constancy. Both complement each other. So only when you have these two things, your broadcasting is successful, or it can your thing can be called as broadcasting. That is why Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. When we are continuously reading Bhagavatam, repeatedly every single day we are doing Nityam. No, we do the Bhagavatam reading, then it becomes Anukirtataha and Anuvarnitaha. So this is most important to remember whenever we are describing Krishna's glories. Not only Bhagavatam, any service we do, right? You take cooking service, you continuously do what so many of the devotees do Raj Bhog Seva, some of them do some Chapan Bhog Seva, whatever it is. So they do repeatedly and they do constantly. They don't do like one Rathayatra I do, I will not do rest of the life. There is no repetition. Right? So that is why these two are very important. Okay, so this is another important point. And in the purport, Prabhupada will write the prompt diagnosis of Vyasadev's despondency is prompt diagnosis of Sri Narada is at once declared. If you go down further, Prabhupada would have written something really interesting in this. And anyone can read this. Oh no, go up. The root cause of the despondency of Vyasadeva was his deliberate avoidance of glorifying. This is the most important point. Deliberate avoidance of glorifying the Lord in his various editions of the Puranas. Deliberate avoidance means he knows that Krishna is ultimate, Krishna is the supreme, but still he wanted to avoid it. He was wondering, if I tell about Krishna, maybe not everybody will appreciate it. So let me tell about the Vedanta philosophy first, then about all the other. I will read the Puranas with the awe and reverence thing of the Aishwarya Bhava of Krishna first, all kinds of different things that are there. Then he said, I would talk about the demigods and everything. He says, no, you, all those things are fine. Just straightforward, directly, will not glorify. So that is why he was despondent. So this is the prompt diagnosis. And see, that's why in the last line, see, Prabhupada says, Narad Muni recommended to Vyasadeva that he should be, Vyasadeva should now eagerly and repeatedly describe the path of devotional service. This is the eagerness is the prime, what do you call, quality of or prerequisite of broadcasting. And when you are eager, and you should do it repeatedly. So you will not be bored that, oh, I read Narad Muni today, I will not read tomorrow. I read Ambarish Maharaj today, but I want to do Bali Maharaj tomorrow. I want to read Dhruv Maharaj next day after. That is like jumping from one to another without enjoying it fully. The more you spend with, say, a specific verse or shloka or chapter or purport, the more you will get into the groove. That getting into the groove, they say, groove. So that is very interesting point actually to understand. We all have to get into the groove. Okay, so let's read the next verse. Anybody can ask any questions or share your comments in between. Feel free to ask. Don't wait for me to prompt, because we are just going on. Now comes the second most verse. There are 4 most important verses in this chapter. Rest are more important and important. So the first one we saw 158 is the first most important verse. Now comes the second most important verse. Nayadvachaschitra pado harer yasho jagat pavitram pragranita karhichit tadvayasam tirtamushanti manasa nayatrahamsa niramantu shikshaya. Can somebody read this translation?
Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. Since the all-perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there.
Very, very strong words. Those who do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can Jagat Pavitram, sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe. He didn't say sanctify the whole universe only. He said atmosphere of the whole universe. Now, this atmosphere is a very subtle thing. Like, because, if you are in a group, you will feel that, you will really feel good about that place. When we are discussing it with a constant focus, you will feel that, hey, I'm happy in this thing. I want to spend more time. That should be the outcome of that, being part of that group, and that good vibes that you have, isn't it? So that is called the good atmosphere. If the atmosphere is one of cheating, bribery, duplicity, hypocrisy, those kind of things, pilfering and all those kind of things, then you will get succumb to that kind of an atmosphere. So the sanctification of the atmosphere is very important. That place, each place has a vibration. Each one of us have a vibration. We all have our own vibration. Vibration means, I'm not telling the shaking thing, but there is a, I mean to say, there is a vibe, they call it, no? I could catch some good vibe from this person. He seems to be a good person. He seems to be a chalu kind of, like we kind of have some how should I say, we experience something from that person. That's the real atmosphere. It's not only the, like, atmosphere does not mean, oh, this place is having fresh air, that place is having bad fresh air. No, it's not like that. Atmosphere is more subtle. That's why Prabhupada did not use this word environment or other gross words. Atmosphere is a very subtle word. This atmosphere is very nice. That way we say. So it's that atmosphere is sanctified by this glorification of the Lord. Jagat Pavitra means in one place you are doing, it can do purification of the whole Jagat. That is the power that it has. Let's say Prabhupada used to call it as Brihat Mridanga. Brihat Mridanga means sound that can go far distance. When you play the Mridanga, no, it will not be just, you don't need a mic and all for it. It will keep what you call cascading effect it will have. That's the beauty of this verse. So that those words which do not describe, so many junk literatures are there. They don't speak a single word about Krishna or another word or the absolute truth. They, on the other word, they just ridicule those who are followers of this bhakti path and all that. When it doesn't describe the glories of the Lord, who, because he's the only one who can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe. And if you don't glorify him, then there is no way your literatures and all can sanctify this world. So such imperfect and kachada literatures, they are called kachada literatures, garbage. A saintly person to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. So Payasam Tirtham. Payasam Tirtham means, you see, crows, they just start, they make so much noise. But it is not, it is called cacophony, they call it. It's very horrible to listen to. You don't feel like being there. And you just want to drive them away. But when say, for example, this cuckoo, when it makes sound, you don't shoo it away, you don't drive it away. You enjoy its singing, right? Or a parrot or whatever. So this crows, they also make a conference. They also go to Dham. They also go for a pilgrimage. But that pilgrimage is where they just go into the garbage and they make so much noise, right? In Tirtham means you go there and you get purified. But these crows, they go to the Tirtham to become even more contaminated or make that place also contaminated. So what Krishna is telling in the hidden way is that if we don't describe Krishna even in the holy Dham, that our pilgrimage, our yatra is only like the yatra of the crows. It will be disturbing to others only. Just go there, eat one ice cream here, eat some samosa there, and there also you go and have all kinds of pizza, pasta, and everything, and just fill up your tummy. That's not Dham, is it? That's not yatra. Because the all perfect persons, Manasa people, they are all Hamsas. You see the stark difference between the crows and swans is as wide difference as the difference in their color. Crows are complete black and swans are complete white. Means the heart is, we are talking about not the external thing, that it's a heart that we are talking about. The heart is completely contaminated, then it's as good as being dark, black, whatever. The heart is pure. When the heart is very clean and wanting to think about only good for others, and that is swan. Because swans, they have the habit of taking out only the good thing, even from the all contaminated stuff. It leaves the rest. It does not bother about. On the other hand, crows, even if you keep good things mixed with the bad things, you will take only the bad things and leave the good things. That's what the difference between the mentality of the two birds. So it's like one side is like this, where glorification of the Supreme Lord is not there, just like the crows, and where only glorification is there, and they don't take any pleasure in this garbage things.
they are the Hamsas things, and they are the all perfect persons. They are the Manasas, saintly persons. This is the second most important verse. That in other words, indirectly Narada Muni told Vyasadeva is that whatever you have written till now, in which in those things, if the glorification of broadcasting and glorification of the absolute truth is not there, then it is like a garbage only. You can just throw into the garbage. It's of no use. Nobody will take pleasure in it. That to that level, Narad Muni is actually straightforward. Is straightforward in his diagnosis and chastisement. That's the Guru. So, Suresh Prabhu, what is that? Message of this verse be broadcasted to the people traveling to Dhams without devotion. Yes, Prabhu. Very nicely said. Because one thing that my Guru Maharaj used to say is that you are going to Dham for doing some austerity. It's a mockery of your yatra if you go to Dhams and you want AC rooms. I mean, you want to sit in the AC. You go out, take take the experience of the open thing, the fresh air there, because those dhams has many centuries sadhus have come and they've chanted, they've glorified, they've done katha, they've done harinams and everything they've done in those places. So when we go there, those subtle vibrations will influence us. That is why you will see that in the whatever is happening in the contamination that happening in the city, the anxieties and all those things, you don't feel it in the Dham, isn't it? If you are in the Bombay city or one of the any of these major cities, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, whatever, anywhere you take, there every day you will have to go with so much anxiety. But you will go to the Dham, you are not worried about anything. You are just casually going everywhere. And you are not anxious about prasadam also. You go anywhere, you can get prasadam in Dharmasala. You don't have to worry about sleeping. You get nice Dharmasalas to sleep or nice places, hotels, or places, whatever to sleep. Right? You go take darshan, you feel so blessed, happy by taking the darshan. And you come back very completely satisfied. That's why the Hamsas, they take pleasure in these places where Krishna's glorification. Okay, so now he's talking about the other side of it in the next verse. This is the third most important shloka. So far he covered 8, 10, and now 11, verse number 11. Let's read this now. Yeah, somebody can read this verse and the translation, please.
तद्वाक् विसर्गो जनताघ विप्लवो यस्मिन् प्रतिश्लोकमबद्धवत्यपि नामान्यनन्तस्य यशोऽङ्कितानि यत् शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति साधवः.
Translation.
On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest.
This verse, this translation is so amazing because in this Prabhupada is written one of the longest statement. And my Guru Maharaj made us all learn these verses by heart, these translations. Not just the verse, but the translations also, So it's a bit difficult to understand with the long statements, but you see, they call it as Kranti, like revolution. It has created a revolution. Prabhupada's books has created a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. There is no greater example than this. These books, when it's now distributed in all over the world in so many different languages, Now we hear that this year's they've set a goal of 55,000 sets of Bhagavatam to be distributed through this Bhadra Purnima thing, the initiative. And in 2026, now 23 now. So by 2026, so Jayapatak Maharaj set a goal of 1 lakh Bhagavatam sets to be distributed throughout the world for that year. By another 3 years, when the temple of TOVP is opened, you know. So the thing is, you know, this books they are being distributed by people all over the world, and people are reading them so carefully in big universities and colleges and universities and academic institutions now. There also they are researched. And you see, there are so many practical examples. I just quote one of them. In Russia, about 10 years ago, I think, there was this case being filed by one of the local residents, Russian, some Russian people. They were kind of envious about the Hare Krishna, these devotees, you know. So they said because they are like mostly they are Christians, they follow this this missionary process. Prabhupada also in one way he is of course it's out of love and voluntary thing only, not a forced one. So here also people follow this distribution and those things like Harinam and all that. So the Russian people, some of them, few of them, they just were worried about it, and they went and filed a case in the court saying that these people are actually enemies to Russian government, this thing, Russian population, and they have to be deported, or they have to be banished, banned, you know. So this case went to the court, and they are converting, they are spreading wrong message, etc., etc. All these complaints were there. So our devotees also employed another lawyer, and he also argued on our side. So when the judge asked, "What are these books that you are all distributing?" and all that, then he said, "No, this is about God. Anybody can read this Bhagavad Gita. You can also read." And so then he said, "Oh no, then if these people are complaining, then we have to ban you." So the lawyer said, lawyer or the devotee whoever is arguing for this books, he said that, "See, you can ban us, no problem. But only one request I have for you is that before you ban, you please read these books and then you ban. Then you won't be the like a proper judge to do that if you're declaring a decision judgment without reading or hearing what we are distributing." So he said, "Okay, what are your books you give me?" Then they gave a set of books. This Bhagavad Gita, and then Letter of Instruction, and Upanishad, and Bhagavatam, and all these books. They gave some set of books. Then you please go read, take as much time as you want, and then you give the judgment. This judge took the books, went back home, came after say a couple of weeks. Then he said that I have a request for you. Can I have these books for myself? And can you also give me one more set to give to another thing? I declare this Hare Krishna philosophy to be completely bona fide. There is no thing here, no what you call harm with this group. Whatever they are doing is for the well-being of the public only. And so these Prabhupada's books have to be distributed everywhere without any restriction. This is the Kranti. This is the revolution the pure words of Paramahamsa did to this world. And I will tell you one more thing, same case of Russia, because the reason I'm quoting these couple of examples from Russia is that because Prabhupada spent only 3 days in his entire life in Russia.
In America, he spent 10 years. In other places, he spent few months together, and so many others. In all other places, he spent at least a few weeks, a month, or whatever. But in Russia, he stayed only for 3 days, and that too, he didn't make any devotees or any programs there. He only made one. He only initiated one devotee there, and he, I think, conducted one marriage with another one Mataji to that devotee. And that Mataji is also not from Russia. She is, I think, from America, from the US. So that's all he did. And then maybe just take one or two classes to them. That's all. But now if you see after that next 45 years, Russia is the fastest and fastest growing and the largest congregation of Hare Krishna devotees. And this is Kranti, how he did. And the other example that I was going to quote is that there was these devotees were not allowed to do programs in a temple, etc. It's like they have to do only like in the underground only they have to do. So they have to stand in streets and do book distribution, or somewhere they have to cover it with some other thing and do sell the books, etc. in Russian language. So one of the devotees was standing in front of this slaughterhouse, meat shop or whatever, that slaughterhouse. And so he was distributing books, Prabhupada's books. So one day he, I think, went into this is a real incident that happened. So when he went into the thing, and that manager was sitting there, owner, I think, not the manager, owner. So he was sitting there, and he explained about this book, and he said, no, don't take take away my time, don't waste my time. I don't like all these things. You don't do these things here, otherwise I will have to hand over you to the police. So this then the devotee, anyway, without this owner's knowledge, he left a book with him in his table, and he went away. And later what happened, they were doing this slaughter, cutting the meat and everything there, all the animals and all gory things will happen in the slaughterhouse, right? So they were doing it there, and probably he had some blood stain or whatever in his hand, this person, his owner. So he was looking for a piece of paper to wipe, and then he saw that there was no paper, and he found this book, and he just tore off one piece of paper, and he was about to wipe his hand. But he saw some thing written about meat eating in that page. It's Prabhupada's book, actually. So he saw something written about meat eating and all that. So he started reading that page. He saw that Prabhupada had written, meat eating, why it is harmful, why we should stop killing animals, etc., etc. This is to a meat shop owner, by the way. This is the person who is reading it. And when he kept reading, he started very interested and read the whole book. Then he was asking the people around, where can I find this person? And maybe some little facts may be a little bit wrong, but the overall essence is the same. So somebody narrated this to me. He said, he asked one of the staffs that, who gave this book? Can you find this person who gave this book? Yeah, he stands in the front of our thing only. You can find him tomorrow. So that owner, he went and spoke to the devotee the next day, and he wanted to know more about what is the philosophy that we are teaching and all that. And everything the devotee explained logically. And within a month or two, the slaughterhouse was closed. The devotee, that owner became a devotee. And this story, this owner who became a devotee actually visited Srirangam, the temple. And he was asking for a direction to go. Once he landed in Srirangam, he was asking for one of the Hare Krishna devotees, the direction how to go to the temple. So this devotee said, I will take you to the temple, and he went with him. And while going from the station to the temple or inside the temple, that takes some time, 15-20 minutes. So during that time, this devotee inquired this person, where are you coming from? How come you know Russian? Then how come you know about this place and all that? Then he narrated the whole story, how he became a devotee. This is how this slaughterhouse owner became a pure vegetarian and Hare Krishna devotee within such a short time. I'm telling these examples. This is just one or two of numerous examples that happens over day in and day out. It keeps happening. And this is happening even when the person who has written the book is not here personally, physically. These books are Prabhupada still working the magic. That's why this is called, that's why Prabhupada has written revolution in the impious lives. Without creating revolution, this misdirected civilization will not change, isn't it? How much he has done, how much Prabhupada has done by his writings. That is why these books, no, we should, anything and everything you can leave, but please don't leave Prabhupada's book. That's these are not books. These are actually Krishna appearing in different forms. Each of these books. Okay, so we have to be thoroughly honest to accept and enjoy it. Okay, so I will stop here, and I see Anup Prabhu raising his hand. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you. Dhanda. Sorry, I mean, thank you very much for sharing this beautiful pastime. Congratulations. And also this one pastime I heard, Prabhuji. Like when one Mataji was during the same time, the devotees were getting jailed and everybody, and one Mataji also got jailed. She was imprisoned. And what she was doing, she was preaching in the inmates also, their inmates. And they are also turning, they are also chanting and everything. So what they did, the jailer, he has confined to one of the places, and she was alone, and they called so many peoples to change, to convert her from this Hare Krishna movement. And so what happened in the last, nothing worked. Then they called one witch, and she was doing a black magic and everything, and they called her to change it because they know that she was very powerful in this, and they called and they changed. And while she was doing a black magic, the Mataji was chanting Hare Krishna, and but still that effect is much more. Okay, and Hare Krishna, when she was chanting, that effect didn't diminish, and it was increasing more and more. Then she was chanting this, and she was doing this Narsimha prayers, very serious, and that also didn't, and the effect got more and more, that which effect. And then at last finally what happened, she recited the prayers of Prabhupada, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale. And when she recited this, and the witch got feared, and she ran away. And the jailer told, "Why you're running away?" Yeah, frightened and ran away. And they were asked him, "Why?" They stopped her, and why you're running away? You didn't see what happened? They said, "No, we didn't see anything." There was an old man and standing there, and he was pointing me a finger, and my magic didn't work and stopped it. And it was very scary. And she ran. And when I heard this, Prabhuji, like. Even though the Prabhupada prayers we recite, so we didn't. I mean, for myself also, I
With
didn't
faith, when
believe.
we do
Okay,
it with faith, no, these mantras, they have their
yeah,
effect.
faith. Yeah, and at that time, I must realize like how grateful that witch also that she can see the Prabhupada. and and also the pastor that you're saying, the judge and this boy, they didn't chanted so many rounds, and they got so much faith while just reading. And we are reading so much. I mean, and I'm saying myself, maybe we
घर
read
की
here
मुर्गी
and there
दाल
and there.
बराबर, Prabhu.
And we are not getting
Yeah, because it's there. Bhagavad Gita, I know so many people. There are
yes,
so many
yes,
versions are there. At Bhagavatam, we hear so many times. So it's
yes,
without practice, we keep doing, we keep hearing, but without practicing it, then it becomes like a stale thing,
yeah,
That's where
yeah,
it becomes a stale item. That's why we should not be using it for our entertainment. Like Rath
yeah,
Yatras, functions, everything,
yeah,
it all lands up being, ultimately ends up being just some entertainment business,
or we go to programs, main focus is cooking, eating. There's not much about, ideally speaking, the programs are, there should not be any program without prasadam, that is another point. But ideally speaking, programs, if they are really effective, the focus should be more on hearing and kirtanam, that is Shravanam and Kirtanam, not much about other Shravanam Kirtanam, only about this Krishna Shravanam and Kirtanam. But here we have limitation, about if not more than 30 minutes Gita class. If it's more than that, we cannot tolerate. But the other Papa Shravan keeps coming inside, not Punya Shravana Kirtanam. So that's what is happening there.
And also, Prabhuji, there's one minute I'll take, not more than that. There was one of the devotees in our congregation also. So he is from Odisha and he is not much learned and everything. So just here, one of the devotees was monitoring. They will send like every time we will sending in every year Bhagavad Gitas to houses everywhere. So every devotee will do this. So we what we have done, the devotee also sent to one book to his father. His father is very far from his place. We are here, and in Odisha, some place he was residing. He was doing all for the, I mean, most of the regulatory principles was breaking, and he's doing alone. He's doing that. So once he sent the book, he didn't preach. He didn't preach like Father, don't do this. No. He didn't preach. He just sent the book. In the book, introduction or somewhere, Prabhupada has written like, if you eat meat, like you are like a pig or something. This one statement is there. Just reading that, Prabhuji, he left. I mean, the father left the meat eating and everything, and they built a small temple where they can preach. It is a very remote place, and he was being a pujari there. And just in a few years, Prabhuji, not more than that, like maybe 3-4 years, within 3-4 years, this much change. That I mean, imagine the guy who is there. The father is 50-60 years, and the minds are so fixed at that age. And what is this book? And nobody will believe in it. But that one line or one statement from Prabhupada, it reciprocated so much, and it changed everything in the life of it. I mean, the seriousness of the taking the words. I mean, it's really amazing while hearing. And so many words you are telling, and it's not penetrating in our.
Yeah. Really, Prabhu. Very true. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for
Thank
that
you.
wonderful
Thank you.
thing. Anyone else? And then we will stop within maybe a few minutes. Tomorrow is Rath Yatra in many cities. So wish you all a very, very happy and joyful Rath Yatra. Keep doing seva as much as you can. And Jagannath is very famous for his prasadam. So for his Maha. Have as much as you want and distribute also as much as you can. Yes, Piyush Prabhuji. Prabhu, you are on mute. Piyush Prabhu, you are on mute. Can you hear me? Prabhuji, your voice is breaking a bit. Okay, I think he is.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, it's better now.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, from last class, the air quality is there. From air quality, na, we have in read sun and air shloka we have read. So
What is that, Prabhu? What about it?
so good places.
Sorry, Prabhu, your voice was breaking. What did you say?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Air goes above, air also goes on bad things as well as good things.
Yeah, but it doesn't retain it.
Similarly, yes, Prabhuji. So similarly, Srila Narada Muni ji also goes to some bad people also and some good people also. But
that is Paramahamsa. That is Paramahamsa, yes.
Yes. So this is also one of the
This
quality
Manasa
of
word, this
the Narada.
Manasa word used in this verse, no? That Manasa word is a very interesting verse. Because Manasa means whose mind has only Krishna and nothing else in their mind. That's why it's called Manasa.
Yes.
They are using their mind only for glorification of Krishna and remembering Krishna. Okay, now Shiva Prabhu, thank you so much for that, Prabhu. Please add these things as you and Rajesh Prabhu can do this additional service. You know, so we keep adding more and more things there. Now, Shiva Prabhu has raised his hand. I'm sure he will have some points also. But apart from that, I'm sure he is asking for that that one point which we talked about. That Krishna doesn't go personally to that when the gambling match took place. No, he didn't personally go. He sent the saris right from Dwarka, but he personally went to this when Durvasa Muni came to their from the forest. He at that time when they were in difficulty because this our Draupadi had already washed the Akshay Patra and kept it drying. So once Draupadi eats, no one else can take anything from there. Otherwise, until then, anything you want to be supplied by the Akshay Patra. That was the condition there, right? That's so at that time when Durvasa Muni and all had gone to take bath, in the meantime, Draupadi is really worried. She is really concerned that how we'll be able to satisfy this Brahmana and his 10,000 disciples. They have come all the way. We can't feed anything. Then he will curse us. We'll be dissatisfying him like that. So why Krishna even see this is at least Brahmana not getting lunch for prasadam whatever. But in the Asat Sabha, she was completely disrobed, and that was even more serious. So why there he is not coming in person, but here he is coming in person? That's the question that was asked, isn't it? So for this, we need to understand a couple of things. One is Krishna has his own plan when dealing with the Kauravas and what is all these sinful people. He had a plan to bring all of them together in one place and finish them all. That is one thing. And the second thing is, she is already calling out the names of Krishna, Govinda, Dwarkanath, Jagannath, whatever, you know, all the names of Krishna, different names of Krishna. So there is no real need for, at that point at least, for him to come in person to give the saris to save her respect. You know? That is because she was calling out the names, and he also had a plan to bring them all together. If he had come in front of them and supplied the saris, then the Kauravas would know that Krishna is only doing this. So they will see him as being partial to Pandavas. But Krishna is not partial. He kept that stance all through, because even in the end, after the war is decided also, when Duryodhana rejected the peace proposal of Krishna, even after that, Duryodhana comes to Krishna and asks for his Narayana Sena. And that time also Krishna is giving the Narayana Sena to Duryodhana. See, so from his point of view, from everyone's point of view also, he is equal. So if he comes and saves Draupadi at that point, then he'll be considered as partial towards Pandavas. And so anything and everything that he comes to say will be considered by, at least by these people, Kauravas and his parties, that he is only friends with Pandavas and not here otherwise. But on the other hand, in the that's the reason he I mean, that's one of the reasons maybe, and he has his own plans, right? This can't be the only reason. There can be so many other reasons also. So he supplied it from there only. He made sure that, okay, this is all done. But in this case, where Durvasa Muni had come, it has a very interesting special significance here. For that, we have to read the verse 115:11. Can you read the translation? Shiva Prabhu, if you are able to, you can do it yourself. Or Sushandra Prabhu, I can see is unmuted. 115:11. I'll read the verse in the meantime. Yono Jugopa Vanayetya Durantya Kritra Durvasasuri Rachitat Ayutagra Bhukyah Shakan Nashishtam Upayujya Yatastri Loki Yutamamusta Salile Vinimagna Sangha. Can somebody read this translation, please?
Which I can read.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
During our exile, Durvasa Muni, who eats with his 10,000 disciples, integrate with our enemies to put us in dangerous trouble. At that time, he, Lord Krishna, simply by accepting the remnants of food, saved us. By his accepting food thus, the assembly of Munis, which bathing in the river, felt sumptuously fed, and all the three worlds were also satisfied.
Now, this is very interesting because normally the word that is used here is agrabuk. You know, agrabuk means the word for word. You see what is that being said there? Agrabuk.
One who eats before.
So normally Krishna is the one who eats before everyone, isn't it? Because we are doing the offering, bhoga offering to him, and then we are taking. Correct? Or even otherwise also as what is that verse? Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashitaha. Or that no, Brahmarpanam Brahma Bhavir, that verse. Brahmarpanam Brahma Bhavir Brahmagnam Brahmanahutam, right? So when you're cooking only in the form of Agni, he is actually tasting it. That is another important thing which you should know. Because without, it is said that fire is the tongue of Krishna actually. So through that he is, fire is actually tasting. That's why in the Yajna and all, why are they pouring the tea into the fire? Because through that actually Krishna is enjoying the offerings. The interesting thing here is, unique thing is, Krishna is always the one who eats before. But because he's so much in love with devotees and so he was so much amazed by the devotees' surrender to him, that in spite of the fact that he has been sent to the forest and everything, still the Pandavas are depending on Krishna only. So he was actually taking prasadam that Satyabhama was offering to him, and suddenly he saw this problem and he left the thing there, right there, and he came to this forest where they are, the Pandavas are staying. The beauty is actually the one who is always eating before everyone else. He wanted to eat the remnants of the food eaten by his devotees. Like the Pandavas, all of them ate, and finally, when Draupadi eats, that's when everything will be complete. That after that, it will not produce any more food. So what did Krishna do? He said, you came and he asked, I am very hungry, give some food. Now, Draupadi was telling, what is this, Krishna? I called you to fix the problem of 10,000 people, and you are coming as a 10,001 first person, and you are asking for more food. I don't have anything to give to anybody, and you are asking me to commit offense of not feeding you also. Then Krishna says, no, don't worry, you just bring it. Bring that patra, I will see something is there. Then she brings, which is completely turned upside down. When it is brought, he sees that there's a little bit of that, whatever, pata or anna that is there. And he takes that and he eats that. And he says, let the whole world be satisfied with this. Somebody muted me suddenly. I don't know who it is. I don't know when I was muted. I kept speaking without realizing that somebody muted. Hare Krishna.
He ate that remnant from that vessel. Prabhu.
He ate the remnants of his devotees and he wanted to enjoy that as the Mahaprasadam offered, Mahaprasadam of his devotees. That is the transcendental loving relationship between Krishna and his devotees. He is so much amazed by their unflinching love for him. So he feels honored by tasting the Mahaprasadam. Normally, we are the ones who feel honored by tasting Mahaprasadam coming from Krishna's plate. Jagannath gives directly so much of Mahaprasadam. But the other side of it is like Krishna wants to eat the remnants of Shakanna system. Means he wants to eat the remnants of the food left over by his dear devotees Pandavas. That is why he came in person in this case. Does that help, Shiva Prabhu? On all others, of course, we all ask this, discuss this question.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank
So
you
this
very
is the
much.
transcendental sweet relationship between Krishna and his devotees. And the other case of Gajendra also, he came in person, right? He could have sent, just like Ambarish Maharaj's case, he could have sent the Sudarshan Chakra to chase and finish the crocodile. Why he came, brought it all the way? So that we will discuss later. In the meantime, you all can think over it.
Oh, wonderful.
All answers we cannot give one day only, right?
Yes. Let us digest this first.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Krishna. Can we imagine Krishna Krishna wanting to eat the remnants? The Supreme Lord, who is the source of all the food items and everything that is growing, Aham Bija Prajapita, and he wants to have the remnants of Pandavas prasadam. Can anybody being same, as a supreme personality of God, can in that post, can somebody be in that position do that? That is what is pure loving transcendental service. This is where when we are doing devotional service, sincerely, we will get to taste these kind of transcendental nectarian relationship between Krishna and his devotees. Agrabhuk means one who eats before. He is the one who eats before everyone. After he eats and enjoys, only others can eat. That's a normal thing. That's why we are offering everything to him. But he wants to eat the remnants of his devotees. That happens only with Krishna.
As he said that I am Bhakta Paradino is the best example. He is showing it.
Yeah. In every single incident of this is devotee. So that's why Bhagavatam is so sweet. Because in every one of these episodes and pastimes, you will find something unique. And that enhances the transcendental for that swad or bhav, in that mutual relationship between the devotee and his devotees and Krishna. Every single thing. That is why unlimited scriptures are written about bhakti again and again. And still released more and more and more. See, one Rath Yatra in a year in Puri became hundreds and thousands of Rath Yatras by one pure devotee's endeavor and desire. Correct? Every year it is growing and growing and growing. Every year you see some new place, some Rath Yatra is happening. And that thing is, it becomes like a monopoly of ISKCON as a society. Everywhere it happens. And that is so much pleasurable. We are able to give Krishna to everybody. That is broadcasting. So let's take this as our base thing, the broadcasting and the broadcasting Krishna's glories in whatever ways and means to bring happiness and bliss into the suffering, the lives of the suffering souls. At least that way, that should be the mood. This is we approach this festival. All other things will be like naturally it comes. This is more important. Wow. Piyush Prabhu is suddenly giving this beautiful quote here. I do not enjoy the oblations offered by the sacrifices in the sacrificial fire, which is one of my own mouths. With the same relish as I do, the delicates overflowing with ghee, which are offered to the mouths of the brahmanas or dedicated to me, the results of their activities, and whatever who who are ever satisfied with my prasad. This is telling to the Kumaras, when they go to the Vaikuntha. So much is there. So this is a proof for our this particular. While he tells Brahmanas, he is talking to Kumaras, but actually he means pure devotees there. Thank you so much, Prabhu, Mataji. We'll stop here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Shri Jagannath Bhatta Sundara Maharani ki jai, Jagannath Rath Yatra Mahotsav ki jai, Koti Vaishnava ki jai. One small information, I may not be available for the class on Wednesday and maybe Saturday also, next coming Wednesday and Saturday. So we will have to find an alternate day to do this. Let's figure out offline. Maybe Thursday, if you can do instead of Wednesday, and I don't know, Sunday maybe we can try. We'll see. At least for Wednesday thing we can probably postpone to Thursday. I put the message in the group also. Only for this week. Only for this week maybe, and then we'll see later. Thank you, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam. Dandavat. Thank you so much.